Guys, welcome back to another installment of First Timer Friday. I am Michelle with Fun and Key West, and today I'm going to be a little bit controversial. We're talking cruise ships. I know. They're a love-hate relationship that we have with cruise ships, no matter where we go, the destinations. But Key West is a very popular destination for cruise travelers. It's about the only place in it is the only place in the Florida Keys that you can stop on a cruise ship and let people out to explore. Key West has had a long history of cruise ships coming in, and here's the really cool thing. When people stop and spend time in Key West, even if it's just for the day and they're coming in for maybe 6 hours, 8 hours, they fall in love with Key West and then they're going to want to come back. So I think that if we look at it from a way that it boosts the local economy and tourism and all of that, it's an awesome thing. If you happen to be in town when a cruise ship is in, keep in mind some of those day attractions, the Key West Aquarium, the Shipwreck Museum, Mel Fisher's Museum. They may be a bit more busy, a bit more packed than you're used to. The conch train will be busier, the trolley will be busier, some of the iconic places on Duval Street will be busier, but it's not all day. You can get up and by the evening they're gone, and town is back to semi-normal or weird as we like it. There's all kinds of cruise ship lines that come into Key West. Now, pre-pandemic, pre-COVID, very large ships came in to Key West. And you could go down to Mallory Square, and that's usually where they docked and all of that. So if you've been on a cruise ship and you've stayed and stopped in Key West, you'll understand this whole concept. But what we found was when the moratorium went on for cruise ships and nobody was cruising or for that matter traveling, the waters around Key West became very clear. And so there was a moratorium put on place that ships of a certain size cannot come in and dock in Key West. They can go out to the outer mole. There are a few other places that are a private dock that they can then work with, but usually the cruise lines themselves don't go that direction. So you're going to see the smaller ships come in. So those great big, huge, massive ships you're usually and probably never going to see in Key West again. But it's a cool space to see. And everybody's excited as they come off. They come in, they go to the jewelry store, they get their coffee, they buy their trinkets, they have their drinks, and they hop back on and they go usually to the Caribbean for a couple days and then they come back. But you're going to see Holland America coming in. Disney Cruise Line sometimes comes in. Royal Caribbean, Norwegian Cruise Line. I think Norwegian's the one that has all the bubbles on it. I just think that's a cool looking ship. And of course, Celebrity Cruises come in. You've got like I said, you've got Mallory Square. And so when you see all of those, my husband's the boat person, but where they can tie up are along Mallory Square. So the cruise ships can come in and they'll tie up there. And as if you stand at Mallory Square, you can look back out over at the outer mole. And, they have to be ferried in and all of that. So it's a little bit different in terms of how they position themselves and how people will get around. But you can go on to and Mr. Coffee stopping by to say hi. You can go on to the Key West city website, and I will always have links for this available. But they usually have a cruise ship calendar, so you can plan what ship is coming in and what time they'll dock, what time they're going to leave. So if you have things that you want to plan, you can work around that. But they're usually in port on these port calls for about 6, 8 hours. So they're not in for all day. And most of the time, it's very rare that they stay for sunset or so they don't block the view of us that are coming into Key West for those sunsets. And Mr. Coffee's tired this morning. They do a lot of shore excursions, and then they'll walk around, like I said, Duval. And they come in to Mallory Square. And this is why, outside of the cruise ships, let's talk about the fact that this is why you usually stay in Old Town and trying to orientate yourself, because everything from Key West and Old Town is in walking distance. You've got Duval Street, you have the Key West Aquarium, you have the Audubon House. Everybody goes to the Butterfly Conservatory. They can hit over to the Hemingway House, the Truman Little White House, because it's just right there into Truman Annex. Of course, they're going to hit Sloppy Joe's. And of course, keep in mind, if a cruise ship's in town, you're going to have a longer line to the southernmost point, buoy, and very rarely do I see them come over to the tropical gardens. So if you're into that, the East Martello is usually not very busy. They're not going to be taking the Dry Tortugas park tour because they're not in town long enough to do that. So that's not going to be an issue. But my tip, and my tip is, if that is a place you absolutely want to go to, book that before you come to Key West, because more than likely the Yankee Freedom will be booked when you show up. That's a long list of being booked. They'll probably go out on the glass bottom boat tours and probably do some excursions like coral reef snorkeling and things like that. Again, they're going to come in at Mallory Square, so that's right at Front Street, and they're going to explore Old Town Key West. And that's what you can expect if, let's say, you're not in Key West visiting and a cruise ship comes in, but you are on the cruise ship and you're thinking, is Key West a really cool place? Do I stay on the ship? Get off the ship, come aboard, get off the ship, come on town, explore Old Town. There's so many things to do. You can, a lot of times, if you're at the Outer Mole, they'll do a complimentary shuttle. If you booked shore excursions, they'll have all those hookups for you, wherever those are. Now, if you're in town and you've only got 6 or 8 hours to spend in Key West, here's some things. I want you to try key lime pie. Go to Kermit's, try everything key lime, because you go into Kermit's, it's right across from the Conch Republic, and you go there and you can taste everything key lime. Jelly beans, cookies, all of it. Grab a slice of pie. And if you have people with you, here's what I suggest. Grab a slice of pie, grab one of the frozen ones, and then share it. You're going to want to go on the trolley tour. I don't know if I would actually do the trolley tour and the conch train, but here's the interesting thing. If you take the trolley tour, not only do you have stops through Old Town Key West, but it'll take you up to Midtown. So you get a little wider view of the island and you get to see more than you would on the conch train. What I always say about the conch train is the Jungle Cruise. It's a Disney Jungle Cruise. You have campy humor. You get to go on this really cool thing. I happen to love all the puns and the humor that the conch train has, so I find it amazing. I've mentioned these before, but if you're in town on a cruise ship and you've only got 6 to 8 hours, of course you're going to hit the Butterfly Garden. If it's July, August, I'm going to tell you, it's hot outside and it's going to be hotter inside. It's going to be humid. It's going to be steamy, but you can meet Rhett and Scarlet, the resident flamingos, and see the amazing butterflies. So if that's something that you enjoy, put that on your list. If you want to see all of the amazing shipwreck items that were salvaged by Mel Fisher, plan to go to the Mel Fisher Museum. It's right there as you come off of Mallory Square, and you've got some really cool stuff in there, and just the size of the artifacts that they pulled up out of the ocean. Mind blowing. Let me tell you, mind blowing. Of course, you can wander down Green Street, because Green Street is the intersection of Duval, and so Green Street intersects in there with Duval. Sloppy Joe's is right there on the corner. You can wander down. Of course, they have all of the wonderful tourist shops that you can check out. And I'm just going to reiterate, why Key West? Well, why not Key West? Isn't it our tropical paradise? You've got warm temperatures, crystal clear waters. They're not very deep. And of course, you're not going to be sitting on the beach, boogie boarding or anything like that, because that does not occur in Key West. If you wanted to go head over to Fort Zac, explore that, see the beach, there's plenty of time to do that. Again, there is a Key West cruise ship schedule that the city of Key West keeps updated. I will have a link to that as well. It shows arrival and departure times. It's as accurate as the cruise lines give the city of Key West. So keep that in mind. I think as we talk about it, like I said, it's just absolutely a love-hate relationship. There's the cruise passengers, they come in, they spend money. The Key West residents and everybody benefit from that because it's a quick boost of people. And then at night, they're gone and get the city back to yourself. So keep in mind, we're now back into full tourist season in Key West, and Key West is an absolute must see tourist destination. I've listed a lot of the main attractions that not only a cruise person's going to want to explore on their port call, but things that probably you want to explore. And these aren't things that you're going to see once. You're probably going to see them once or twice or three times or keep coming back. And keep in mind that the Custom House has constant rotating exhibits. So be sure to check their website to see what's happening there because it's always neat to walk in and see all of those exhibits. So keep in mind if you're planning a trip to Key West and you're wanting to do some what we consider shore excursions, the food tours, things like that, conch train, trolley, the museums, the aquarium, all of that, you may have a peak busy time if a cruise ship is in town, and just plan accordingly. If you are on a cruise ship and are coming into Key West, make sure you fall in love with it because I'm going to tell you right now, you are going to fall in love with Key West and you're going to want to plan a trip back off the cruise ship and spend time on the island. So head over to FunInKeyWest.com and check out all of our suggestions, where to stay, where to eat, where to drink, and what to do. Under what to do, you can book all kinds of tours and excursions, and we have all kinds of suggestions. And those tour partners that we work with are ones that we know and we work with, and we highly recommend. It is First Timer Friday, and I hope you have had a wonderful week and hope you have a wonderful weekend ahead. You guys have a great one, and thanks for stopping by. I'm Michelle with Fun in Key West. Have a great one. Bye.